Okay, we're on.
Oh.
The people, they can hear us.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. This has been
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to... I just almost ate shit on my bed. Welcome back to the Talking Over You podcast with Kate Ravenscroft. Today, we are talking over... Ella Winnie!
yay. Oh, this is one of my lifelong dreams.
Friend of the pod, friend from high school,
Mm-hmm.
all-American steeplechase champion.
Those aren't the same.
Ella is a professional runner
Yup.
at Wellesley,
At Wellesley.
so she's also a liberal.
Much. Yup, that's me.
We can make
Mm-hmm.
we can make jokes about the person I'm seeing.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't say their name.
Okay.
We
Sounds
can
good.
make jokes about them though, because he told me that he doesn't listen to podcasts. So if he is listening to this and hears them,
You'll
then
have to confess.
he'll
about
have
it.
to confess to lying.
Yeah.
You read my mind.
Per usual.
You have to talk closer to the microphone.
Ice cream. Wait, microphone, not ice cream cone. Thanks, Mrs. Stansfield.
Microphone, not ice cream cone.
No, it's the other way around. Oh my god. Kate knew who she was from a very young age.
Guys, this is my best friend Ella. I love her so much.
BFF.
Ella went to high school with, if you watched the episode with Hunter Stevenson, Ella went to high school with Hunter and I.
Suffered through all 4 years of Madison Country Day School. Just kidding. I think fondly of our time in high school together.
I also do.
Cheese Club? What's not to love?
You're going to have to explain to the people what Cheese Club is.
Kate worked at Willie Street Co-op. Talk about liberal. The grocery store in Madison, Wisconsin. And she worked specifically in the cheese section.
Indeed, I did.
And she wanted friends.
In many such cases.
And so she invited us to eat cheese with her. And because I also wanted friends and I also liked cheese.
Which is crazy because Ella already had friends.
We were looking for new ones.
Were you?
Just people to add.
That's funny because I remember being explicitly denied entry to the Snapchat friend group chat.
Was it fifth wheel?
Yes.
Well, you can't add something to fifth wheel. That's there would be 6 wheels. That wouldn't work.
But I literally remember being like, so, okay, wait. For context, in high school, I entered junior year of high school, and it was during COVID. It was like 2020, the fall of 2020. And I had just moved back from France.
Wait. Did you guys know? I did not know that. Did you study in France? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing. I didn't realize.
You know, when I was in France.
Oh. Okay. Keep going.
I knew you were going to do that.
Had to happen.
I moved back from France, and I was emo. And I just looked like Gru.
Oh, no, you were actually emo. Like, don't let them think that you just dressed emo. She was depressed. Don't get it twisted. She was
And
sad.
I was like peak alt TikTok. And I used to wear like corsets over like collared shirts to school.
And then also had the audacity.
That's what I was going to say next. At like lunchtimes, I would be like, this is how I tried to make friends, by the way.
You can see why
This was my ploy at
Cheese
friendship,
became
actually.
necessary.
You have to talk closer to the microphone.
I'm so sorry.
I would be like, okay, it's outfit review time. We're doing an outfit review. And then Ella would walk up and I'd be like, that blue is a bad color for your skin and the cut is awful.
She could be talking genuinely right now. Is that what you think about my shirt?
But that's like the kind of shit
It's
I would
true.
say it during outfit review.
It's true. And then sometimes you'd be really nice and then you'd go 4 out of 10. And I'd be like, oh, I thought we were headed in a different direction, but all right.
I had a lot of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I was really into
I
Twilight.
don't think we should use past tense for that. Frankly. For either of those statements, I don't think we should use past tense.
Okay, I do have really big feelings and I do like Twilight.
There we go.
Both of these things are true. But it was particularly exacerbated during high school. And honestly, it's kind of a miracle that Ella is friends with me. Like, Sadie became closer friends with me towards the end of junior year, beginning of senior year. That's when we, like, solidified.
Mhm.
Sadie's my other, like, okay, you're, like, my best friend. Sadie's, like, my sister, lover, everything. Like, that has
I'm
weird
okay.
incestuous
No,
implications.
No,
but,
no.
like, Sadie is, like, my, like,
Sadie and
soulmate.
Kate that's everything.
yeah.
That's-
But like she became friends with me at a time where I was marginally more palatable.
and I would say that that's true.
I would say you were stuck with me in a class of 3.
You got to see it through, my boy. You got
Got
to see it
to see it
through,
through, my man. Like Ella was actually stuck with me in a class of like 3 in-person people, 6 feet apart, wearing masks for like 5 to 6 months. And you're still friends with me.
I saw it through.
Do you remember history class?
Yeah. Do you remember when we made a TikTok dance?
Yes, we did
hall?
the
The-
Space Girl, get the stars.
I remember that.
We're so cute though,
We were.
and Ella really embraced my freak. Like I just feel like I wore weird shit to school, and like you found a way to like make fun of me for it in a way that
Saw
didn't.
you at-
Yeah, you saw me as I was,
Uh-huh.
and you tried on my corset that one time,
I did.
and it was 8 sizes too big for you.
If someone brings you cheese,
The lesson here to learn is that friendship can be bought.
through
Cheese. Primarily through
Specifically-
cheese.
specifically
Cheese, like
A
Cheese Club
Poisse?
was like, A Poisse is my favorite cheese. You've never had A Poisse because you can't really get
I
it in
thought
the
that
US.
you got it for us one time.
Oh, maybe the
did.
last one.
You did. You got it for us. It was in a glass thing. It was on the puzzle table.
Okay.
I
okay.
remember that
Okay.
very clearly.
So basically,
What
like
was the orange one that you gifted all of us?
Mimolette.
That is what you No, I had already been friends with you, but
I
that
literally
point.
like brought in like chunks of like Mimolette cheese and was like, "Who wants some? Here, kitty, kitty."
I didn't like that.
But like Cheese Club was like a very intense. I need to just get like help or something. I can't keep living like this. Like the intensity I bring to social situations is just like always wrong. Like Cheese Club was a very intense thing, regimented. Every single weekend, someone needed to get cheese. I did cheese at first. You did cheese.
I did cheese.
And I would criticize
Steve
the cheese
did
too.
cheese.
Like I would show up to I would literally force our high school male friends to build a charcuterie board in their mother's home. Like a real, like to go to the fancy grocery store, pick out cheese, build a charcuterie board in their mother's home, prepare it, present it, host. And then I would get there and be like, these cheese curds are ass. Ew, you picked string cheese?
I do remember that. Who did that?
Seth? No. Seth Steve, one of the boys. But can you imagine? There's this emo weird bitch who won't shut the fuck up, and you have every class with her because it's COVID. And there's only 3 other people at school, so you're forced to
there
talk
were
to her.
other people at school. Like we can't. That's erasure.
Who am I erasuring?
I don't know, but there were other people.
But, like, you're stuck in a class with me. I force you to go to the supermarket and the fancy supermarket and spend, like, $50 on cheese and crackers and whatever.
Yeah.
And then I show up to your house looking like a freak.
Your parents.
What?
The parents are like, oh, who's that? Like, I've never met her
Yeah,
before.
I've never met her before.
Like, how? This is new?
I'm like, Steven, your mother's wallpaper is beautiful, but simply choosing cheese curds for this event was inappropriate. Like,
I don't remember the cheese.
like, what is wrong with me mentally? I look at
I don't
pictures.
know.
Oh, by the way, at the time, I had like a very intense online relationship with a boy who was in college and was texting constantly.
I actually did not. I didn't see Kate through. I had to see that whole relationship through.
It ended badly, I'll tell you that much.
That was low.
That was a low. Multiple lows. In
The
fact.
lowest of lows.
Never been lower. The low, it was so low. I literally told the podcast I would not do a Trump accent, and without fail, every single week, there is a Trump accent moment.
Okay.
Nothing but respect for our Lord and Savior, Emperor-in-Chief, by the way.
Long live the king.
Long live the king.
Long live the king. That's what they're
Huzzah!
saying.
Huh?
That's what they're saying. Long live the king.
Everybody's saying it.
I literally texted someone about that.
About what?
Long live the king.
What happened?
I don't think that it's. I think that that's very scary.
What? Wait, I don't know what happened.
He posted.
What?
Trump posted an AI generated photo of Trump with a crown on him, and the caption was "Long live the king." Like, genuinely posted that.
Because I've been really busy the past week or so and distracted and not looking at the news. I probably should have known about that.
It was bad. I don't know that major media sources were
Wait.
covering it. It was on Instagram.
Wait. Move the mic away from your mouth.
No.
Like the institution of monarchy. Like monarchist.
Long live the queen.
Sleigh boots the house down.
Sleigh boots the house down. Oh.
So Ella,
Mhm.
tell the people more about yourself. Ella does this thing called running. It's weird and unexplained.
I do run. I do a really fun event
Me
called
when I run and do a really fun event.
called steeplechase.
What
It-
is that?
It involves barriers. They're like hurdles, but they don't move, which makes them worse.
Exactly like the glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm. And then you jump over the barriers, and every 5th barrier that you jump over, there's a puddle of water. Sounds made up. It was actually made up for horses.
Wait,
I'm
what?
really.
You do an
It-
activity that was created for horses.
That's why the barriers are the black and white. They're like black and white, like the equestrian jumps.
And is this actually your favorite? I thought you were a long distance runner.
It's 2 miles almost. The event.
Okay.
I'm not a horse person.
Have you seen?
It's in the Olympics, guys.
Have
It's in the Olympics.
Have you seen the horse girls who do hobby horsing?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't resonate with them?
Here's my problem.
Yeah.
They're athletic. Some of those people are jumping so high, and I'm like, why don't you do high jump? Why don't you do a sport? Why
Well,
don't you
because they
play
couldn't
basketball and
pretend that they
jump
were riding
high?
a horse doing that.
I know, but
Wait. Do you hear the people yelling outside?
yeah, you live on B. Oh, probably can't say where you live.
Yeah, let's not say where I live. I live on a street that has a lot of fraternities on it.
A lot of fraternities.
And they throw, but there's not a party happening. There's just someone yelling outside. Oh, wait.
It's
Should we
probably-
tell them that one guy that we saw?
Yeah, sure.
everybody's favorite activity, like when I have parties or like have friends over on the weekend.
My favorite activity.
Well, it's also hunters. And something tells me my new man is going to have a lot of fun with this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get a megaphone.
Yes.
Like
Actually,
a god mic.
Yes. I would love to, like, you know how people, like, do the interviews where they go up to people on the street and
Yeah.
ask? What if we just did
I
interviews
think I have to
out
do
the
that for my
window?
new piece.
Okay.
But, no, the other thing that I think would be really funny.
Wait, we didn't tell them what happened.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
Oh.
The other thing I think would be really funny is, like, what if we sent my new friend
Mm-hmm.
out, like, in his, like, army uniform?
To ask people questions?
No, to walk up to a random really drunk frat boy and be like, Alexander, you've been recruited.
Into the military?
Yes.
I don't think I...
But, like, imagine, like, a really drunk frat boy who thinks the army has self-selected him.
That specific man that we're going to tell a story about, I think would get a kick out of that, actually. But I think most people would
Not
kind
care.
of assume the person was, like... I
I
wouldn't
think we
think
pick the drunkest man in a group.
I wouldn't think that person was real.
You just think it's a hallucination?
Like, if I was absolutely, like...
Do you see the army guy, too?
I'd be like...
Do you see the guy holding a French Civil War era bayonet? Do you see the guy over there that's been reloading a rifle for 50 fucking minutes? With, like...
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that the Revolutionary War was fought with guns that actually took 30 minutes to reload. Have you ever thought about that?
I don't think that I knew that, to be honest.
Yeah, like in order to reload one of those guns, I only know this because of my grandpa. You have to dismantle the whole thing. You have to clean it with like a little brush, put new shit in it, pack it. It's like packing a bowl, which you also wouldn't know about because you're a student athlete. Said you're fucking boring and won't do weed with me.
I won't.
You heard
if
it here.
If the NCAA is watching,
she literally won't.
I literally won't.
And I've tried.
And
I've tried a lot. And she says no every time. It's honestly really annoying.
I didn't know that about the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of makes sense in my head. I'm thinking about the plot of Hamilton. And I'm like, now...
Pardon me.
No, but the fact that he, like, went by night and, like, snuck attack.
Yeah.
Sneak attack?
Snucked attacked.
Snucked attacked? The fact that he snooked attacked.
Me when I
think
that's what Snooki's named after.
You
Did you
you
know?
get one chance. That makes more sense now. You get one chance.
You only got one shot.
Otherwise,
do not miss a chance to blow.
No, wait. That's in the duel. But
no, it's not. That's Eminem.
Oh no, but one like in the they're like you have one shot. Don't miss, but that was for the duel. But for the Revolutionary War part, like you got to go by night. You got to because otherwise you're gonna spend 30 minutes. I don't know, packing a bowl apparently. I don't know.
So this guy that we saw the other night. Ella, do you want to start? Everybody comes to my house and people watches out this
Kate's
window.
house is lovely. It's sometimes overstimulating because there's
My
a
room
lot. No. There's always a lot happening.
Oh, okay.
And so then sometimes you come in here, and it's nice and quiet, and then a call from the window, and it's someone going, "F you, Uber driver! F you! I'm Santa Claus!" And you're like, whoa.
One night, Ella was over, and we were watching the boys across the street out in the window.
I don't want to call them men, actually. Boys.
And we saw one who was an angry elf.
He dyed his hair blonde, buzz cut.
And he was like 5'6", maybe.
That's bold. 5'4". Looked shorter from up here, I'll say. And
And he was just
He-
walking around like full of rage.
really angry, and his friends were pretending to try and stop him from doing things, but actually they were just enraging him more.
And at one point, he turned to all of his friends and he went, "You're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and you're a bitch, and you're a bitch."
He did that. And at the same exact time that was happening, a man came out of the house who was much larger, much scarier. If I'm picking someone in a fight, I'm picking the man who walked out of that house every time. Okay? I'm picking that man against this bleached buzz cut kid.
He's
And
just like
yet
a dwarf.
This bleached buzz cut kid, he was sure that he would win in a fight. And so he kind of approached that man, to which
Again, the burly looking dude.
yeah, to which that man literally put him in a chokehold immediately. No questions asked. Literally just right in there. And I don't know. And then suddenly they were separated, and Big Man was announcing
Big
to the
man.
world. Big Man was announcing to the world that he was Santa Claus. And then he suddenly turned into the Grinch, and he ripped a Christmas tree, a full Christmas tree, a Christmas tree out of the ground. So I guess
Like
it's not even a
roots.
Christmas,
Like with
a pine
roots.
tree, a small pine tree out of the ground, ripped it out, threw it in the middle of the street where cars were.
Because there's
Passing by?
Uber on the nights that they have parties. There are Uber drivers coming to and fro all evening.
Yep.
Because we live in Boston, so the public transportation doesn't work, and the kids are too rich to care to take the public transportation.
This is true.
So there's constantly like
Ubers.
Ubers, and like a Uber door will open up, and it's like a Prius, and like 10 sorority girls get out of it like a clown car. And this guy was yelling at the Uber drivers like he was like standing in the middle of the road. Can you
Yep.
fix my Harvard flag, please? Thank you. Thank you. He was like standing in the middle of the road. And his friends were like, "Bro, like get out of the road. You're going to get hit by a car." And he literally was like, "What are they going to do about it? They're fucking Uber drivers. They're
Yeah.
not doing anything with their lives." That's exactly how he sounded.
And standing in the middle of the road is maybe an understatement, considering like there were Uber drivers. Like he was standing in front of the Uber drivers' cars, going, "You're a fucking Uber driver," and flipping everyone off. At all of his friends, he flipped off. All the
Yeah.
Uber drivers, he flipped off. All the women, he flipped off. Everyone was flipped off, and the guy was going, "I'm a Grinch. I'm the Grinch," and throwing Christmas trees into.
We also have
ground.
videos of all of this. And this guy, he was so belligerent and drunk, but they let him into the party anyways. And then we saw him like stumbling out later.
He got kicked out.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I feel like they like kind of push him out.
Yeah.
I think they did.
And
And it wasn't that much later.
he has a really distinctive voice. Like he's like
Angry.
yelling. And
But
like his
little.
vocal cords
Angry
were
but
raw.
little. Little and angry. That's
And
how
I
I describe
heard his
him.
voice back a few weeks later, and he was like actually saying slurs to the Uber drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I texted you about this,
Oh.
and I was like, "Oh, there's our funny little friend doing," and nobody was stopping. I
Oh,
was gonna maybe call the
Later
cops.
he was saying slurs. A different
Yeah,
occasion.
a different night,
That's
and
important.
I was gonna call like none of their.
Yeah.
It stopped before I got to my phone, but it was really. I don't know what's wrong with them. There's something so deeply wrong with men.
I'm not gonna.
Ella goes to an all women's college.
Historically women's college.
Sorry.
It's okay. I've seen the comedian that does that.
Which one?
I don't know. I think it's like a guy. I don't know. I've seen someone do that joke after making an insensitive
Oh.
joke. And
Oh, so I should just die. So I can't even make a joke about killing
it's
yourself
fine,
anymore.
It's fine. I do go to historically women's college. I am sometimes confused how we decided that the people who are running the world are the same people who think that they're the Grinch and throw Christmas trees.
And
Every
he walked up to a girl.
that walked out of that house, I'm being so serious. Every single girl that walked out of that house either made a snow angel, a literal snow angel, either made a snow angel. They were always in packs. There was either 2 or 3 of them at a time, or they video recorded the snow and were just like oh my
taking
gosh,
pictures
it's
of each
so
other.
pretty.
Getting an Uber driver, like, hi, thank you so
Every
much.
single one. And I'm not saying that there weren't men who did good things like that. There were a few that
There were
made
many
snow
men
angels
who were
and
throwing
stuff.
dicks in the snow, and it was awesome.
But some of them were just violent.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
that's interesting to me. But
I agree.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's very interesting as well.
it's
So yeah. What else is up?
I don't know.
What do you want to talk about? We can literally talk about anything.
I don't know.
Okay. Dream 5 guests at a dinner party. Can be from history, can be dead, can be alive, can be whoever.
Okay.
If you say Colin, I'm going to puke.
Not
Colin
even
is
as
Colin is Ella's boyfriend.
Colin is Ella's boyfriend. Wouldn't it be more fun to have someone there who you could share the experience with, and then the rest of your life you could be like, oh my god,
Okay,
remember that
fine.
time that we went
Colin, fine.
Okay. That's one. And then my grandparents both died. My grandparents on my dad's side both died before I was born. And so I never met my grandmother, whose name was Gloria, who had bright red nails all the time and cheetah print coats and just sounded like an absolute girl boss, kind of, in a way. And I would love to meet her. So she would be at my dinner table, absolutely. And she started like spaghetti Sundays for my family, which like we kind of still do when I'm home. So I would like to get the recipe and all of that jazz. So there's 2. I need to pick like a fun historical figure, probably. This is hard. What do you got?
Huh?
What do you got?
Like, who's at my table?
Yeah. Do you have an answer?
Yeah. There's pictures of them on my wall. Tana Mojo, Anne Frank, Anthony Bourdain, Alice Roosevelt, and Martha Stewart.
Is that really?
Yes. Dream everything. I said this on the last episode of the podcast. I don't want it to get repetitive. Dream blunt rotation, dream dinner table, dream obituary speaker list. Like, that group of people, I owe everything to them.
Okay. That's good.
They're very me, though. They probably don't inspire you very much to come up with somebody.
Tana Mojo doesn't. She's not really part of my.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I
Entity.
figured. That's what I figured.
I'm sure I owe something to Anne Frank.
Dude, you have to read Anne Frank's diary. It's so good.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but for a long time in my head,
What are you about to say?
I thought that Anne Frank and Helen Keller were kind of the same. Like when I was like 6.
Which one did...
Like
Like, was it that you
And
thought...
actually
Wait, pause.
actually-
Question. Let me fix my flag. Is it that you... I need to fix it. It's been falling down a lot lately. Is it that you thought
Do you
Anne
guys know
Frank...
that she goes to Harvard? Sorry. I think it has to be
Okay,
that nail fell out of the wall.
put it...
I don't know where it is.
Ella...
It's in the crevice.
Just
We're not hiding it.
forget about it. Just...
Do you guys know where Kate went to school?
Goes.
Okay.
I forgot
What
to
was
tell you
your
a
question?
detail in our debrief earlier.
Okay, well, you can tell me later.
Did you think Anne Frank was blind and deaf? Or did you think that Helen Keller hid from the Nazis?
Let me tell you something. You're going to be even more disgusted when you find this out.
Wait, no. What?
Because this is actually a very common problem. I looked this up.
Being stupid?
No. And guess who they throw in there?
Who?
Oh, God. Wait.
You don't even remember.
Amelia Earhart. Many people mix up the three of them. It's an actual phenomenon. I'm
So
serious.
basically only the 3 historically famous women.
And that is exactly what I was going to say next, is that it's actually a problem because there's not a lot of
No.
female historical figures. And so people get the three of them
So
confused.
what
But
what
I-
were you confused about?
When I was a kid, I read the Helen Keller book, like Helen Keller's autobiography.
Which, by the way, do you think Helen Keller was real?
What my dad did is he put me in a blindfold and I had to
What? Wait.
I had to go around my house and do tasks without being able to see and hear. And I guess it was supposed to teach empathy, which frankly, maybe it worked, I don't know. But my dad made me do that. And so I was very, very, I really knew about the Helen Keller story.
That's like when I watched Soul Surfer and then walked around my house for a week
yeah.
like this.
Yeah. I had a wooden plank going from my room to the bathroom, like a 4x2, essentially. Whatever the 4x.
So
Whatever
now that
plank
you've
is.
had the Helen Keller experience, do you think what happened was realistic?
So I'm not saying that. I did not have the Helen Keller experience. I very briefly understood what it was like to not be able to see anything for a few seconds. Anyways.
And that's exactly the experience Helen Keller
No.
had, considering she was lying the whole time.
No. But anyways, at the age that I read that book, that was like one of the first chapter books I ever read.
Okay.
Because I think it has very simple language because she was deaf and blind. And it talks about how she learned how to do words with her hands from the nanny who was teaching her. They felt her hands. And it was a really good book. And it really resonated with me. And I was like, this is incredible. But point is, I really knew who Helen Keller was. And then I never read the Anne Frank book. And sometimes the diary would get referenced and I would just get confused.
Can I go get my copy of the Anne Frank diary and read you some of the good quotes? It's Ella. It's so good.
I'll read it.
For context, I did read it under special circumstances. I was visiting Amsterdam. I randomly scored tickets to the Anne Frank Museum, which is hard to get into. And again, this is
what other institutions have you gotten into that are kind of hard to get into?
Harvard,
Okay.
New York Fashion Week,
FIT.
the Fashion Institute of Technology.
And the Anne Frank Museum.
And the Anne Frank Museum.
People also throw in Eleanor Roosevelt. I'm so serious, guys. Look this up.
Whatever. Obviously, you should not make light of the Anne Frank story. She
No.
was a very important historical figure. The Anne Frank Museum itself is striking. I cried in the Anne Frank Museum. And I don't cry at museums. Oh my God, I'm really crying. And it gets worse when you read the book. I look up to her and appreciate her so much. She had put posters on the walls of her room in the attic. She had cut out little magazine, and the whole, it's all original. It's the original wallpaper she looked at every day.
Oh.
when you walk
Like
through
in
the
the
house.
museum.
It's not even a recreation. Like,
wow.
it's actually like the poster you look at that she cut out from a random magazine and just like put on her wall to look at every day was the same. It's not a recreation. And you walk through the thing. You walk through like the house. It's very it's very
Yeah.
touching. And I got the book while I was there. And the other beautiful thing is you find out that like it's not just because she was in a situation and was like, I want to write about this for historical prosperity. She was her biggest dream in life was to become a famous writer.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted to be a writer like before the World War II happened.
Mhm.
So her basically posthumously, her dad took her diary and published it, and like her like greatest life's ambition was accomplished.
Yeah, that's.
Doesn't that just like really give you chills? There's something
Yeah.
about Anne Frank, but her diary is, first of all, fucking hilarious. She is so funny. Like, in the first chapter, it's like right before they like things are starting to be weird in Amsterdam, but it's before they go into hiding. And she's like, I'm the most popular girl at school. Eleanor thinks she's cool, but her shoes are ugly. The boys all like me. Sammy walked me from home from school the other day. He's a little bit ugly though, and he's bad at math. So, I think I can do better. Like, that's the first chapter. Like,
Yeah.
she's a fucking icon. There's an entire chapter where she's like, I've always loved women's bodies. I think they're beautiful. I love women. I wish I could marry a woman instead of a man. And that part was cut out in like original publications and then put back in. But like the whole thing, it's very well written. I also like I think the thing that really gets me about it is like she's not just like us. I'm not saying like, oh, like I'm just like Anne Frank for real. But like she really is just a girl. Like,
yeah.
she's in the
Before
attic and there's like a boy in the attic that she like has a crush on.
Yeah.
And she's like, I saw Peter today. He came down. We talked about the book I was reading. I think he's cute. I like his smile. I don't know why I'm texting, but like,
Yeah. Like, even through
yes,
the most,
yeah.
like
Like,
drawing
she
historical
found a
events.
way to still just be a girl.
Yeah.
You should please read Anne Frank's diary. But basically what happened is I went to this museum. I was very touched. I had never read it growing up. So hey, so the people, they can't see you. Are you okay? Are you cold?
No, I'm tired.
Okay.
Not tired of this.
Okay.
Could never. be
So
tired
basically
of
I
this.
got thanks. I got the diary there, and then I took it to a coffee shop in Amsterdam, which is a weed store. And I bought a bunch of weed, and I just walked around Amsterdam high all day and reading Anne Frank's diary. And it was I actually, it's one of the funniest things. That she's hilarious. Her comedy is so good. That was what stood out to me the most about it. Obviously, the end gets a little bit emotional, but like, you're reading it like from her perspective, and she's a little kid, so she understands that things are like really serious.
Yeah.
But it's still like her life, and she's still living, and like she's funny as fuck. Like, the observations she makes, like the annoyances she has, it's just like really, it's really good. You should read it. You can have my copy if you want. Mine is all like annotated up.
I'll read it.
I'm missing Amsterdam now. I need to go back to Amsterdam. I really miss travel. It's been a long time since I traveled.
We've never traveled together. This has come up.
Yeah, whose fault is that,
Mine.
bitch?
Guess what I got in the mail this past week?
What?
My passport. Yeah.
What are you doing for spring break?
Going to Utah?
Are you going skiing?
Yeah. I told you. I was invited.
I thought you told me your foot was broken and you couldn't go skiing at all.
No, my foot healed, and I told you I was gonna bring my good friend.
You told me I'm probably not even going to be able to go anymore. My foot is broken.
I actually didn't think I was gonna be able to go. My dad
And you weren't going to
called the
update
doctor.
me?
because I had already told you I was gonna probably bring my friend Emily, and that's what happened.
You also said some other things that led me to believe perhaps Emily would not be coming. Shall I repeat them for the public to hear?
Sure.
You were like, I don't know if Emily is a good enough or fast enough skier to keep up,
No.
so she might not be able to come.
No, I said I was gonna ask her if she could ski, and she said yes.
Whatever. I think I'm going to LA.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Skiing would have been more fun, though.
I have other friends.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We will travel together at some point. I really want to travel with you. I really want to travel with Hunter, too. I don't know why.
All three of us go.
No.
Hunter? Nope.
I
We
love,
vetoed that.
listen, here's the thing. I love Hunter very much, and I want to travel with her very much. This is true. I think if Hunter and I travel together, it just has to be Hunter and I. Because I think our traveling styles will already clash. And it will be made worse by a third person.
Okay. Hunter, I have a great time with you.
I have a great time with Hunter, too. I'm just saying, like, if I travel with you and Hunter, you will gang up on me. And I won't like that. So it won't be fun.
Are we podcasting right now?
Yes.
Or are we just talking?
That's the point. I'm just an
Okay.
open book. That's what
I'm
people
just an
tell me
open
they like about the podcast. It's just raw. It's real human conversation. But yeah, where do you want to travel?
I want to go back to Italy. My family knows where, like, my OG family is from in Italy.
Classic American.
I know.
Classic.
I want to go to that place. We literally had a shoe company. They made shoes.
Oh, Winnie means shoe in Italian?
Little.
Oh, Winnie.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm just kidding.
no, they made shoes, and I want to go see. So I want to go there.
You've already been to Italy.
Recently, my good friend Emily, who's a good skier,
I'm going to kill Emily.
and I have been playing.
I'm just kidding, Emily. I'm sure you're a very nice person.
Playing a Sporkle quiz where you
What
name
is
as
that?
many countries.
That sounds sexual.
as many
Sporkle?
as many countries. James used to play them.
You mean GeoGuessr?
No, GeoGuessr was everyone. Sporkle is like you name every country
Sounds like a Pokemon.
that you can name,
Okay,
and we've been practicing. And
okay.
yeah. Anyways,
So it sounds like you're going to be traveling with
so
Emily.
I really want to go. I want to go to Kiribati. It's gonna be the first island that goes under sea. When like climate change is happening, which is right now. And they're actually going to evacuate everyone from Kiribati into Fiji, and Fiji will probably also be gone in 50 years. But we found this like little island, and I really want to go there. I would love to go to the Alps. I want to ski the Alps very badly.
Okay. That's
That
Jen's
that
favorite
was
trip.
the original
Can see.
thing
Okay.
that we were gonna do,
Okay.
but that didn't happen. I
Okay.
didn't have a passport. I would still love to ski the
Oh,
Alps with you.
Okay.
There were many things that caused the plans to be changed, but we should go to the Alps.
Okay. We can ski the Alps.
Yeah. I want to run in the Alps.
That's where
That
you love. You want to know what I'm going to do? Run off a cliff in the Alps.
Yeah.
Cute.
Looks
Girls
so
trip.
pretty. Yeah. Where do you want to travel to that you haven't been,
With you?
or anywhere?
I mean, we talked about this on the podcast with Mila. There's a lot of places I really want to go. Peru is up there.
I would love to go to Peru.
I would hike Peru.
Okay.
Honestly, you would be a great person to go to Peru with.
I
There's a
took
really
HL Spanish.
fantastic Michelin star restaurant circuit in Peru
Oh my gosh.
that I've been wanting to go to with Jack Trapernick. So maybe I could figure out I think
Yeah.
you and Jack and I would travel well.
Probably.
Yeah.
I still haven't met Jack in his proper setting.
In his element.
In his element, yeah.
Well, we're having a party when Sadie comes.
When's Sadie coming?
March 21st through 25th.
Is that not spring break? That's after spring break?
That's after spring break.
Okay.
It's like at the
Wait,
very end of
I'm
it's like right
so
after spring break.
excited.
You'll come. Jack will come
I
in
need to
also.
double check, but
So will my special friend.
okay.
It's gonna be really good. I'm really excited.
So
for the party.
Sadie's gonna meet special friend.
Oh, I think we're gonna have a lot of hanging out, like beyond the party. Like I think we'll probably spend a day hanging out with my special friend.
I wanna be there for some of it.
You've already met him.
No, with Sadie.
Why is that?
Because Sadie knows you better than anyone else.
And
I wanna
you want to see?
I
how
wanna
it
see
plays
I
out?
wanna see that. Yeah. Because by then, frankly, he'll probably know you pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, Sadie's been very supportive.
Sadie hasn't met
What?
Sadie hasn't met him.
Oh.
But I've met him and I'm newly supportive. Freshly supportive. I love a woman. I don't want to say the words. But
Okay.
I love a woman who's happy. I'll say that.
You are so mean. You are so mean.
I was gonna say I love a woman in love, but
Oh,
I don't
not that.
want to say that word. So
Not
I
that
said
deep.
I love
I'm
a
gonna
woman
fucking
who's
have to beep it out. It's not that deep yet.
That's what I'm saying. I love a woman who's happy.
I'm very happy.
You deserve to be happy.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
Ella has seen me through some pretty tough times.
Yep.
Have you ever?
I deserve to have Kate be happy.
Have you ever looked at me in a state and thought to yourself, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I give up.
I feel like you embody competence. Like, honestly,
That is such a beautiful compliment. I embody competence?
yeah, and what I mean by that is, no, I haven't really looked at you and thought, like, oh, like, what, like, you're someone who,
That actually
I-
might be the best compliment I've ever received.
I just think that you will do things the correct way.
Yay!
And I mean, not to say that mistakes have not been made with some of the choices in men, school.
Always come back to that.
School.
What is a big
Economics.
mistake I've made that you think?
I can name names.
Okay.
Lucas. Mistake.
That one I will. That one was a big mistake. yeah.
Mistake.
That one actually is maybe the worst mistake I've ever made. The
So,
biggest mistake.
point being, but like, I've never looked at you and thought like, oh, she won't get through that. Like, you're gonna get through it every time. I don't know.
In many such cases.
You got to see it through, my man.
Got to see through. You never finished telling me about your dinner party.
Oh, yeah.
Colin,
Colin,
your grandma.
Gloria.
That's it. We cut through 2 people of 5.
I should probably have more historical figures I like. And now that I've talked about the fact that
You can't tell the difference between Anne Frank and Helen Keller.
no, I can't.
You also never
It was
answered my
when I was,
question.
like,
Is it that you
6.
thought Helen Keller hid from the Nazis?
No, it was very much related to the literature. Like, I thought that the
The
Anne Frank
books.
diary was the same thing as the Helen Keller
Okay,
autobiography.
okay.
Like, those sounded the same to me. That's why I never mixed
Okay.
in, like, Amelia Earhart. She didn't write anything, you know?
I mean, women who fly don't know how to write.
No. But now I know things.
Okay, so
Somewhat.
what
Okay,
what historical
so
character do you want?
I don't know.
George Washington?
I need a current figure too. Like, is there a pop star? I don't really.
Beyonce.
Oh, Yeah.
Ella loves Beyonce.
I love Beyonce. I can't believe. I feel like
What do
I've
you
been
think about
asked this
Cowboy
question for-
Carter?
I like Cowboy Carter. I know that it's getting at Southern more than Midwestern, but country is also a little bit Midwestern, and I feel like it ties my little heart together.
That's so cute.
I love Beyonce. Seeing Beyonce with my mom was
You guys were like front row too.
yep, and we were sobbing.
Can I tell the story? Can we talk about the context for you going to see Beyonce with your mom? Or is that too much information?
No. I went to nationals for steeplechase, and as a gift, my dad to congratulate me. I was a baby first year, and it was a big deal. And he was like, "Do you want to see Taylor Swift or Beyonce?" Beyonce in a heartbeat, by the way. I don't know if that's controversial, but Beyonce in a heartbeat. And so the Beyonce tickets were got, and there were 2 of them, and he said, "Who do you want to go with?" And I think he thought I was going to say a friend. And I did say a friend. I said my mom, who is my friend. But also I said my mom because she means everything to me. And also because I think no one else deserves to see a Beyonce concert more than her.
Like front row. Like their tickets were like in. I'm gonna
Really
be in the
good.
pit.
Yes. And I don't think my dad thought that I was gonna say my mom, and that was.
For
he was
context,
surprised by that.
Ella's parents don't. They're not friends.
No, they're friends.
Okay, but there's a lot of.
They're friends, but that's all that they are.
Okay.
But my dad wasn't happy that I picked my mom. He wanted me to pick a friend, and if I went back, I would make that decision 700 times over again. I would do it again and again.
The
and again
video
and
of you
again.
guys is adorable.
We cried our hearts out, and it was the best. That was easily top 5 days of my life so far.
Beautiful.
Like it was the best ever. So Beyonce, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Colin, Gloria.
Beyonce, Colin, Gloria. Oh man.
I'm also, by the way, every time I look over at you, I'm so distracted by Mr. Big. Like he's so hot. I have the picture. I newly have the picture of Mr. Big in the bathroom with Carrie, like making out, and they're
What
like
is this
torn.
from?
Sex in the City.
Okay.
And they're turned towards the camera, like they've been caught. And I have they're like on the floor of the bathroom, like hooking up. And I have this picture in my room now, and I'm obsessed with it. He looks so hot. And she also looks so hot. And I just keep getting distracted by them every time I look over at you while you're talking. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So you got
I've got Gloria, Colin, Beyonce.
a conversation between Colin and Beyonce seems
Potential bad, low key. Oh,
like
today today at dinner, oh god, I can't believe this keeps coming up. Emily's mom is a kindergarten. Emily's mom is a kindergarten teacher, and she said that the word she hates most that people of our generation say is low key because
Okay.
it makes her feel the most young, and I just said low key, so it made me think of that. But
okay.
and I realize I say low key a lot, and I kind of overuse it. So
I don't think I say it that much.
no, I it's personal.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, okay. I don't know. I need
It's
I
not
need
that hard a question.
I need an older historical figure.
There's no historical person you look up to.
I was thinking of people I really didn't look up to, like Genghis Khan.
Infamously.
I feel like I want to pick someone who I don't, like Putin. Like I want to see someone who I don't want to see.
Historical, like dead.
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean,
Maybe you
I
want to
still have
pick
two
like
left, right?
yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
That person I just think would ruin dinner. Like if for my dinner, I'm
But
surrounded
not
by
with my
people
favorite
who
people.
I love.
Okay, I need to think more love. Historical figure that I love. I'm definitely there's definitely ones that I'm just not thinking of. Like Princess Diana.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Okay, her.
Okay. Do you love Princess Diana?
No, I want to know.
What
Like,
the deal is?
I want to know everything.
Princess
yeah.
Diana is a good one.
And I feel like she had so much that she couldn't say.
And Princess Diana and Beyonce next to each other.
Right?
I really like that vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. I permit. That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know as much about Princess Diana as I wish I did. So also like kind of just to get to know you.
After this, like, I might deep dive. Can we do?
I mean,
Do you want to deep dive Princess Diana YouTube video essays?
yeah, I love the thing I know the most about is the paparazzi and
Yeah.
the tunnel.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah. Like that's the
Okay.
so Princess Diana, Beyonce, Colin, Gloria. You know, one of these is not like the other. And
It's
I'd
okay.
still pick
Colin
him.
is your best. I'm gonna cry.
Who else? Maybe. Does Colin need a man?
This is
another-
your dream dinner.
Okay, sorry. I need a man? No.
You have one. It's Colin.
No, I know, but I just accidentally turned it off and back on.
No,
Is
that's
that
okay.
fine? Okay.
You're fine.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
pick
know. Who?
when you were a little kid, who were you obsessed with?
When I was a little kid.
Like, what shows did you watch? What music did you listen
I didn't
to?
have a TV.
You're annoying.
I literally didn't have a TV. I watched SpongeBob on DVD.
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob. If it's okay if it's a man.
No, I mean I can't think of anyone.
What about
There's
music
so
you
many
listen to
people that
now?
I
Track. You haven't
like.
picked any runners.
Okay, that's
you
a
have
good point.
one runner that you're obsessed with, right?
I have many. I really like Emma Coburn. She's
Okay. I've heard
up
this before.
there, but I don't know that I would. The thing is, runners, for the most part, yeah. Let me pick Yared Nagoose. The goose is loose. I'm picking Yared. Okay, Yared, Colin, Beyonce, Princess Diana, and
Gloria.
Done.
10 out of 10 table.
10 out
Who
of 10
is
table.
Yared? Can you tell me more about?
He had the world record in the mile until 3 days ago. And
Oh.
now Jakob Ingebrigtsen went after it. And now Yared is coming back to Boston this Sunday to try and take it back again. The running
Are you
world.
going to go watch
If
it?
you guys are not following the running world right now, which I know no one is, but if you're not, you should try and
My
tune in a
listeners
little bit.
don't run.
I know. You should try and tune in a little bit
We
because
skip.
it's I don't know if you remember the Olympics. Those just happened. Like, it can be kind of fun. And there's this brand new thing called Grand Slam track that's happening. I shouldn't even like be giving them this free press right now, but like running is going to be fun in the next 3 years. You heard it here first. I'm serious. There's so much money going into that sport right now.
Really?
Yes. And
They also
world
have those
records.
carbon-plated shoes.
Yes,
so
and world
everybody's-
records are getting broken every week at this point. There were 14 world records broken like in the last like month and a half.
That is crazy.
Like a lot of world records are getting broken.
the way that I'm glad you brought this up. Running is not my personal thing. I'm intrigued by how this will manifest in fashion, particularly.
Some of them have really good fashion. Noah Lyles? Do you remember
No,
what he
I'm-
pulled up to?
It's more about like the aesthetic. Like European football got really popular and everybody started wearing those like football jerseys, XYZ. I'm starting to see hints of running now that I'm thinking about it creep into the zeitgeist. They have these newer kind of like Puma running shoe ballet flat things that I desperately need. Puma recently did a collaboration with a brand on, and they have there's been these really colorful tennis shoes reconfigured to look like a 90s heel. It's like a subversion. subversive piece. I've seen these bubbling under the surface of the fashion community for probably like the last 5 years, and I'm wondering if in the next 3 years we're going to see a huge uptick in running inspired fashion in the mainstream. That's how I see this manifesting from like my perspective.
I don't know. A lot of world records are getting broken, and it's really cool. And there's drama too. That's what people
What's
don't
the drama?
understand. There's drama.
Now, what's the drama?
There's like much drama. Like Jakob Ingebrigtsen is from Norway, and he and his brother used to train under his dad, and then there were literal daddy issues, and he left. And now he doesn't train under his dad, but his dad picked up like the next best Norwegian athlete, and now they're like pitted against each other essentially all the time.
That is crazy.
And at the same time as all that's going on, like the US is producing good mid-distance runners for like the first time in many years.
What are the elements that go into producing a good distance runner?
A decent amount is talent. Like born with it, kind of thing.
This is what Ella and I have talked about this before. This is something I'm really interested in. To what extent is exceeding in a sport talent, and to what extent is it like you are Michael Phelps and you're born with an extra fourth of an inch on your wingspan?
Yes. So I would say like the thing is I can say that it's talent, but like it's only talent at the level of everyone is training every day, running like every week. The professional runners are running hundreds of miles, like 100 miles.
Okay,
is a very typical number of miles to be running if you're a male
many miles
professional
is that
runner.
a day?
Well, like 70 divided by like like 7
like
days
10
would
like
be
15.
10. Yeah,
That's
like less than
a
that,
lot.
but yeah, a lot of miles. And like a lot of time and work is going into making sure that they're not injured, that they're sleeping properly, that all of that. So like it's only talent in the way that like if everyone was doing all of that work, the people who are currently the best I think would still be the best. Like they don't get to choose to not do work, but they are inherently pretty talented, I think. Like you don't see a lot of displacement between the people who were the best in high school to the people who were the best in college to then the people who become the best professional. There's not a lot of professional distance runners who were not pretty good in college.
Who's the
least.
best in college
right now?
Yeah. Which schools?
Which schools? The schools are kind of random.
That's what I figured. Because the other thing, wait, I'm talking over you about something you know the most about, but this is my podcast. That's the conceit.
Yeah.
So, like, it's interesting to me because normally there are predictive factors. Like, Harvard has the best squash and fencing.
Why is that?
Because those are rich sports. Those are rich white sports. And we have very rich white people at Harvard. But, you know, a school like the University of Alabama is going to have the best football team because of the culture of football. And who are the best football players? Typically black men, of which there are many in the South who want to go to the University of Alabama on a full ride. Like certain schools, it makes a lot of sense. They're like predictive elements. Running, I want to say, I'm sure there's a lot of classism in running, but it's more egalitarian in sorts of like anybody can pick up a pair of shoes and run.
This is true. It's one of my favorite things about the sport. I will say that, like, I would say distance running specifically in America, like cross country, is a very white sport.
Yeah,
there is not a lot of diversity in that sport right now. But that being said, you look at like marathoners.
Yeah.
White people are not the people who are winning. And that's kind of the way it is. And some of that is due to, like, the people have done a lot of studies into whether or not that's because of genetic things or cultural things. And, like,
are you talking about,
like,
Are you talking about African Americans, or are you talking about African people are winning the marathons?
No, African people, like
Okay.
Kenyans. The
Hmm.
Kenyans are the elite distance running population.
Because for
Almost anyone
sports
would
in
say
the
that.
United States of America, there's a very clear argument to be made about like selecting for certain traits amongst the slave trade, and that's why we tend to have better like African American athletes. Like that's a very real thing, specifically in the South.
I honestly don't know that much.
You
about
haven't
this.
heard about that at all?
No, I've heard about that, but I don't know that that's. I don't know that is like
But that wouldn't
Related to
explain
running.
the situation of a
a
Kenyan
Kenyans.
marathon. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
A lot of research has been done into whether or not like the Kenyans have things that are better. So like they have longer legs on average, for example, than the average like
But why?
evolution. I don't know.
Like this is so interesting
But
to me.
also at the same time, they have kids who run 2 miles to school every day and back. And so by the time that they reach the age of 15, they've already run hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, oh wait,
But is their
it's
form
hard
good?
to tell. Yeah.
If
I
if
mean,
you as a
if
child
you watch like I am being so serious. If you watched like Kipchoge, like
Mhm.
the guy who broke 2 in the marathon, for the first time ever, like it looks like he's jogging. Like he's running faster than I can run for 1 minute. He's doing that for 2 hours, and he's looks like he's jogging. Like it looks easy.
that's crazy.
Yes,
That blows my mind.
and also, we want to talk about drama. The doping. People are doping. The athlete just came back. Her name is Shelby Houlihan, and she was banned for 4 years for doping. She missed the Olympics, and like this whole Nike club
Mhm.
got essentially shut down maybe a month ago. They split up all their coaches and everything. But that was the club that she came from. That was like, and a lot of people from that club were suspected to be doping, and then she got caught. She blamed it on a burrito. I don't know if you remember. That was kind of pop culture for a second. Like,
I vaguely remember
sh-
that.
yeah.
How could you blame it on burrito? What's the logic?
They thought that pig offal, which apparently has levels of nandrolone, but like every single person who looked at the case was like, she would have had to eat 42 pigs in order for this to be the case. And also the stand didn't sell pig offal. She literally started a GoFundMe. I'm telling you, there's drama. Like, she started a GoFundMe to have people like donate
Okay,
to her
so
cause.
my question about the
Sorry.
Kenyan runners again.
Yeah, sorry, I got off. on
If
that
as a
tangent.
little kid,
Mhm.
I run 2 miles to school, 2 miles from school every single day with no running training, no background in running. Over time, will my body naturally adapt to run in perfect form anyways?
No. People have very, very different running forms, even at the professional level. And what I was gonna say is that there's definitely comparisons made between, like, I feel like when white male distance runners run next to
Mm-hmm.
like Kenyan male distance runners, like you can it looks like different almost. Like the Kenyans look just so natural, like when they're running. They just it looks so easy.
That's so
It looks
beautiful.
effortless.
That's
It's
kind of
ama-
beautiful.
It's amazing.
But my question is, like, I hear a lot about like running form. I think about my body a lot. My hips and knees are really messed up.
there's
like-
a really good book.
How?
You give me Anne Frank Diaries, I give you Born to Run. It's this lovely book. It's about like these a few different like cultural groups in South America who run hundreds of miles every day. Like there was one group left, I'm forgetting all of the names, but there was one group left who would essentially just run through the mountains
But the thing
every
that
day.
I don't get.
And they never got injured, and they talked about why that was, because running is one of the like the most injury prone sports. Like it's
Yes.
if you run you get hurt. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the like mentality when you approach running, and they explain that it doesn't have to be like that. But we live in a world that is not really made for people to run. Like sidewalks, pavement, everywhere we go, like that's not what people were once running on.
This is so
And
interesting.
So people used to, like, essentially this
So
tribe.
you're saying my form is perhaps bad because I'm running in Nike shoes on a sidewalk in
That's what I'm saying.
a certain kind of weather. And running form is less about like there's a particular good way to run and more about basically making micro changes in your posture in order to counteract these issues with our environment.
Yes, and like everything we do, like we live very sedentary lifestyles overall. Like
Yeah.
that's not going from that to then okay, now go outside and run 4 miles. Like it's not like a maybe
Interesting.
That's just something you can't
So
do.
you're
But
saying
this tribe they put them in.
you have to talk into the microphone.
Okay, sorry. This tribe they put them into like the most elite like ultra marathon races. There's for example one that goes through Death Valley that's very famous, and they did really well. And they never like did as well as they did when they were back home, but they did very well. And the book actually talks about potentially humans evolving to
run in their particular climates?
No, to like that maybe the thing that differentiated humans from all other species was that we were kind of an endurance hunting species. Like any animal could have chased us down and gotten us, but we could outrun them long distance. And that's maybe like why we have some of the like traits that we have.
I don't know if I'm super into that one.
Well,
that point I might argue a little bit against.
No, you can argue against it. I mean, the science behind it is not
sound,
not completely there, but the book itself goes through like all of the components that have made some people think that this is a potential reason why we have some things.
I'm really, really fascinated by this. I think I've gone through bouts of really liking running before. But what it comes down to is it's not like comfortable at all to start running again.
Yeah, beginning running sucks.
And I've begun running like a bunch of times at this point.
Yeah.
Just 'cause life happens, gets in the way, whatever.
But I mean, I was injured and I'm beginning running and it sucks.
Yeah.
Beginning running sucks.
But I just don't understand. Like, I'm really intrigued by this concept that even me, I also like don't think I necessarily. I've talked about this with Ella before. She's told me it's a fallacy, but like I really don't have like the body of a runner. Like I've wondered if maybe it's a thing with like where my center of gravity is, or
if you run,
you will have the body of the runner.
No,
that's
not you will have. If you run, you're a runner, and therefore you have the body of a runner because you are a runner.
I guess, but
done.
I just have never been one of those. Running has never come. It's always felt so hard.
Yeah.
The only time running has felt easy, it's I think it's maybe even more of a mental thing. My mentals have been like in the right place for running to feel easy.
Yeah.
But it's physically hard. It's really hard on my hips and my knees. So I've been wondering like how could I make it work for me? And I guess the answer is I just need to run barefoot in Africa.
On some grass. Running on grass is not bad. Find a field. There's some good fields.
Just run in a
Briggs
field.
At MIT. I spent a lot of summer miles at Briggs.
Where's Briggs?
It's like the field at MIT. Like next to their like baseball.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe running on grass would actually help with the impact of things.
Yeah. I had many.
Ella. She really does inspire me to run, honestly. Which is really hard to do.
I love running. I think it's a great sport and a great activity. It's just a fun thing to do. Although it hurts and it's hard. It
hurts a lot.
Yeah. It shouldn't hurt a lot.
I honestly like I need to start working out again. Like I've lost weight. The issue is I'm at the point where I'm starting to lose muscle.
can't have that.
And I'm naturally a very strong person, and I was particularly naturally a strong person before when I had on a few pounds. And particularly legs are really strong, whatever. But I've caught myself walking up some hills lately and trying to lift some heavy things and carry them long distances. And I can't.
I tried to make a resolution that I would walk up the stairs to my 4th floor dorm. I've walked up it once.
I know, but
January.
you're cross country. Like, you're a decorated runner.
I know. I get exhausted walking up the stairs.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better.
Like, literally exhausted.
But, like, no, it's things where, like, like, Kate 9 months ago wouldn't have a problem with this at all. And Kate, now, a little bit smaller, like, it actually makes me feel so... I've also bitched about other people in my life who don't have enough muscle, and it's inconvenient to me because they can't carry jack shit. Like, this is something I've bitched about before.
I don't have a lot of muscle. I probably could not carry whatever she's referencing.
Well, you know what I'm referencing. Whatever, I give up. But, like, I don't like people who are physically weak to the point where it's inconvenient to others. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know the specific scenario, but I could see how that could be an issue.
Yeah. And
I'm not very strong.
I literally caught myself. No. Okay. It's one thing if you have a disability. If you have a disability and you can't be strong, I'm really sorry, and I really hope things are okay, and I wish you all of the best. I'm talking about fully able-bodied people who are young and vibrant and have absolutely no excuse for being so useless and weak.
What if they have mental health issues?
Ella's trying to get me canceled. I have mental health issues. I feel like...
Strong like bull. That's what my dad would always say. My middle name is Armstrong, and I should not have been... That should not be my middle name, because my arms are not strong.
Why is your middle name Armstrong?
My dad used to joke that it should be Headstrong, because I'm stubborn.
But basically, I've caught myself not being able to be as strong as I once was, and I need to start lifting or something again. Because it doesn't feel good to not be able to, like, oh, can't carry that. Like, I liked to carry everything.
What did I say? You embody competence.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the podcast has come to an end. This is not Ella and I's normal dynamic off screen. I don't know what was up with the rhythm of this conversation. We got into it at the end with the running stuff. The first, 45 minutes to an hour were a little bit stilted. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
But
it's hard to have banter this good.
What? What do you mean?
Like us.
Yeah.
We kind of make each other laugh a lot. That wouldn't make for a very good podcast.
That is the foundation of my friendship with Ella.
Be crying.
We kind of do make each other giggle a lot.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. And she's sleeping over tonight, and every time we have a sleepover, we end up staying really late and giggling together in my bed in the dark.
Yup. I love sleeping over at Kate's. I love her home.
It makes me
And
so
her.
happy. That's all I want. Thank you. Okay. This has been the Talking Over You podcast. Today we talked over Ella Winnie about, what should I title the talking over All American Steeplechaser about Anne Frank. Boom.
Boom.
Done. Title and thumbnail. Thank you guys so much for tapping in. If you made it to the end of this, I commend you.
It's been an honor. I'm really sorry.
You'll come back. You can come back.
Okay.
You can come back again.
I'm excited.
I think we're also both tired.
I'm exhausted.
We're really tired right
I'm
now.
really tired.
I'm
going
sorry.
to bed.
I'm sorry I missed putting up a podcast last week. I have
Do you
been
have how many loyal fans do you have?
like 5.
Okay.
Probably about 5.
Who? Let's give shout outs.
I don't know the detail.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if they're
Rotating
actually
5,
loyal.
rotating 5.
Probably rotating 5,
Okay,
yeah.
rotating 5. Shout out to you guys, rotating.
Shout
five.
out to anybody who's made it to the end of this. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to my podcast and loving my friends as much as I do. Because I do love my friends. I love every single person who's been on this podcast so far.
Thank you. I love you.
I'm sorry I missed a week. I've been really preoccupied.
Sorry.
Okay, it's time to go. I will catch you on the flippity flip.